Y'all ready for the next tutorial? Today we are going to be making a locking slider card, I think is what we decided to call it. Let me get my notebook out here. Locking 4-door card. And I don't have one pre-made to show you. We're just going to make it as it goes. Ready? You're going to need 4 6x6 papers. Now you can use a 12x12 and cut it down, and you can use all one paper if you want. I'm using 4 because the contrast, you'll see. You're gonna need your scoreboard, okay, and you're gonna need an X-Acto knife and some glue. Okay, got all that? Okay, we're going to take one of your 6x6 papers to be the base, and I'm going to make mine this pink base. All of mine today are not going to go together very well, but that's okay. I'm doing it to show you. Okay, we're going to take this base, put it on our scoreboard, and we're going to score it at a 1/2 inch on this side. Okay, and then we're going to turn it around, fully around, and score it at a 1/2 inch on this side. Okay, now you've got your 2 scores at 1/2 inch. Go ahead and fold those over if you'd like. Now you're also going to score in between there. Now, when I say score in between, you're going to ignore these 1/2 inches. Pretend they don't exist. Fold them over. I don't see my bone folder. Here's one. You're going to fold those over so that they're out of the way. You're going to pretend they don't exist. And you're going to score this one more time at 2.5 inches. Now remember, we're pretending that those 1/2 inches don't exist. So we're going to put it in at 2.5 inches with our 1/2 inch folded underneath. Remember? And we're going to score it again right there, right down that middle. Okay, don't fold that part. Don't fold that part. But you can take this out of the way. You don't need it anyway. Okay, you're going to take a ruler. I guess I should have told you you needed a ruler. You might also need your cutter. Pick a ruler, any ruler. Where do you? Yeah, that's long enough. Okay. You're going to take your ruler and your X-Acto knife. Now, watch closely. Let me get my light a little closer here. I should have done that at the beginning, but I didn't. At least I'm in frame today, right? You're going to go just to this side. See, here's the score line right here. Can you see that? We're going to go just next to it, right? Not directly on top of it, just next to it. And we're not going to score all the way to the top, and we're not going to cut all the way to the bottom. We're going to leave some at the top and the bottom, but we're going to cut a little slit right across there, okay? And then we're going to turn it around because it's easier for me to do it this way. You can do it however you want, but take your ruler and do the same thing on the other side. Just leave you a little bit. You don't need a large amount. I've probably left too much room right here, but that's okay. Just take you a little bit and cut just right about the same length on the other side, and then put those together there. I have cut way too much, so maybe put your ruler a little closer to your score line. But you're going to need this slit. Okay? Now, yours is going to be smaller, I hope, but that's okay. Alright, we're going to take this and we're going to set it aside. We don't need it again right now. We're going to set it aside. We're going to get our cutter, and we're going to put it down. Okay? And we're going to take this page that kind of matches the bottom. See, it's kind of the same pink. Kind of pink. Pretend it works. And we're going to take this and we're going to cut it to 4.5 inches, which means we're going to need our extension here. We're going to cut it to 4.5 inches. Do it this way. Okay, if it's a directional paper, remember that this 4.5 is going to get folded, so you're going to want it to be lengthwise like that. 4.5 by 2 3. I still did that. 2 3/4. You know what? I don't care. 2 3/4. I don't like that because I messed it up. Because it's going to get folded in half this way. Go ahead and fold that in half. Just line up the edges. And fold her in half. Let's pretend that I did it a little better than that. Okay, and you only need one of that color. It's going to be your top. And then you're going to take another piece and you're going to cut it to 4.5. Okay, and you're going to cut it to 2 3/4. And you're going to set that aside, and you're going to take the other part of that, and again, you're going to cut it to 2 3/4, so that you've got 2 in that color. Save this little strip. Just trust me. Save that little strip. And you're going to take your 4th piece of paper, and again you're going to cut it to 4.5. I feel like today's tutorial is a little scatterbrained. Sorry. And then you're going to turn it, and you're going to cut it to 2 3/4. Okay, and then you're going to scoot this other side over, and you're also going to cut it to 2 3/4. Okay. You don't need both of these strips, just save one. Doesn't matter which one. Okay, we're going to take this strip and we're going to cut it. We only need about inch and a half, so cut it maybe 2 inches. Use your best judgment or use your thing, doesn't matter. And then you're going to take it and you're going to fold it in thirds. It doesn't have to be perfect, just as best as you can. Fold it in thirds, fold it over, and then fold it over again. Then you're going to take this piece that you folded over here, and you're going to fold it back towards itself. Okay? See how it made a little Z shape there? You're going to scoot that one out of the way, and you're going to take this third and fold it back towards itself. So that when you fold it up like this, you've got 2 of these little Z shapes. You see those? Okay, now see, you've got your paper here. Take these 2 top flaps and put those through the slits from the bottom to the top. This is going to be the top of your base, okay? And you just got these 2 little flaps. And on the bottom, you've got this base piece right here. Okay, set that off to the side again. Go ahead and fold these. Same way we did the other, just match up the line, the corners, and fold it. Okay. Match up and fold. Match up and fold. Match up and fold. Okay. Now, this is where it gets fun. You're going to take your glue. This is my big bottle. We're not going to talk about why I'm not using my little bottles. You're going to take one of these, doesn't matter which color, Spread you some glue out on it. Shake some glue down. Shake some glue down. I don't like this big bottle of glue, and I don't know where my little bottle went, so it's alright. There it goes. Probably don't use nearly that much glue. I definitely don't use nearly that much glue. Okay, you're going to put it down on the paper, and you're going to put the fold over there so that it opens next to the slit. See there? Come on. See how it opens right there? That's what you want. Hold it down for a second because I've got a lot of glue. Don't use nearly as much glue as I did, please. Good night, that thing just goes and goes. Use your little bottles. Don't use this big bottle. I hate this big bottle. And it's just going to keep going. This is a glossy paper, so it's going to take it a minute or two to dry. We're going to clean up some of this excess. Don't need it. Okay? And we're going to get the other one of the same color. Again, put some glue on it. And if you're using this horrible glue like I am, find something to spread it out a little. Thin it somehow so it's not all clumped up in one spot and doesn't do what I did on the last one. You don't want to do that. And you're going to put it on the opposite side. Make sure you got your little flappy piece out of the way. Opposite side at the bottom with the fold pointed to the, or the fold pointed out and the opening pointed to the slit. Okay, are we all on the same page? I sure hope so, because I can't see what you're saying right now. Okay, we got all that glued down. Now, take your secondary color, not your top color, but your secondary color. And you're going to do the same thing. I'm going to use this dab of glue that's in here because I can. Just glue it, put some glue on it, use your little bottle of glue, be a little more conservative with the glue than I am. Oh, this is turning out bad. Now remember, keep your little flappy thing out of the way and put it underneath that first one with the fold pointed out and the opening pointed in. Okay? The opening goes towards the slit. That's important. Make sure your little flappies are okay. Take your second piece of that same color and glue it down too. Now, I don't know if you can guess where it's going to go, but if you can, go ahead and put it there. If you can't, well, I'm going to tell you. Fold that way, opening towards the slit, right up here in this top corner, just like that. Okay? Get your bone folder, burnish it down. Now, this is the part where the little tiny bottle of glue would come in very, very handy for me. But because I can't find mine right now, it's okay. See these two little slits right here, or these two little flaps? Only put glue on those two little flaps. Only on the flap. Only on the flap. Only on the flap. Now it doesn't matter which direction you put this one in, whether it goes this way, whether it goes this way, it doesn't matter. You just glue it down to the flap and you make sure it covers both sides. Okay, glue it down to the flap. Okay, we're going to let that dry for a second while I get some of this glue off my hands and talk to you. And I'll probably do a second tutorial for this because I'm not sure how this one's going to turn out, but here we are. Alright, you ready? You see how it's all locked down like that? Now, you see that we've got this on the bottom, right? Now, if you want to, you can take you another piece of paper. If I can get one out of my box. You take you another piece of paper, cut it down to size, and glue it at the top and the bottom. Don't glue the sides. You don't need to. And don't glue it in the middle because you need for this to be free flowing. But just glue it on the top and the bottom, and then you can have another pocket behind it if you want, okay? I'll show you that on the next one. But we're going to take it, and we're going to use these two flaps to glue it into our journal, you see. And then this will slide. Use heavy duty paper for the top one. I didn't. Let's see. I glued something I shouldn't have. There we go. There we go. Okay. Use heavy duty paper. But it slides up like this. And when it slides up like that, it unlocks these two journaling spots. And then you close those up. And you can slide it down. Again, use heavier duty paper, and don't use such a big slit. You can scroll it down, It's getting stuck back there. Okay. And then you can open up these two journaling spots. Or you can slide it back up, and it'll lock down all 4 spots. How cool is that? You like that? You want to do it again? Just to make sure we have it right? Let's do it again. Okay, set that off to the side. We'll get a decent weight paper for the base. Let's get my papers out. These are lightweight. Ooh, these are kind of heavyweight. We use this buffalo. We're going to use the buffalo. Okay? Decent weight paper for the base. Now, the 4 cards in the middle do not have to be a heavyweight paper. So we're going to use one of those. And let's see. Let's use... I'm going to use my heavyweights for that. What about this green plaid? I like that. Okay. And then we need something... See how that's black and white with buffaloes? Let's see if we can find a black and white. Maybe with buffaloes. What about this black and white plaid? Or dots. Black and white dots. For the top page. Alright, now, so that I don't screw my desk up any more than it already is, we'll put those papers back in their box. You like my 6x6 card, or stock box? Made that myself. Alright. Now, we'll set our 3 top papers off to the side, and we'll get our base paper. We're going to get our scoreboard. Okay. Open it up. And we're going to score at 1/2 inch. Okay, got that. We're going to turn it around and score again at 1/2 inch. Alright. Now, to remember that we don't use those, we fold those down. And this time we're going to burnish them so that they don't stand up so tall. Burnish those down. And you know what? I'm going to get one more sheet out, and we're going to cover that back page. How about this pretty star paper? That'll be our back sheet. Okay, now we've got this. We've got the 1/2 inches folded over. We're going to score it again at 2.5 inches. Yes, 2.5 inches with that folded over like that. Because that part doesn't count. Score it again. So don't fold that score, right? Remember? We don't fold that one. That's okay. If you forgot, that's okay. Now we're going to put our ruler closer to the line. I'm going to put it right on the line, but not covering the line. See what happens. And don't go all the way to the top. Don't go all the way to the bottom. And don't veer off the ruler like I just did. It's okay, it'll be in line. So turn it around. Because for me it's easier to see. You don't have to. You're monkey. And put it right on the line. Hold it down. Cut it again. Right up against that ruler. Okay. Cut it across here. And across here. If you don't feel like freehanding that, you can always use your ruler. And I'm sure my head was probably in the way just now, and I apologize for that. And then you're just going to pick that out. Hopefully you did a better job cutting than I did. See how much smaller that slit is? That's much better. Okay. We'll set that off to the side. And we're going to get our cutter. Okay. We're going to take our 2 bottom pieces and we're going to cut those, remember, at 4.5 inches. 4.5. Okay. And then we're going to turn it around and cut them at 2 3/4. And then pull that and squish this one over to 2 3/4. Cut it again and save that. It's a little bigger, but that's alright. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Neat messed up. See? Alright, so we'll just get another paper. That's alright. Oh look. That same paper. Now because I already have one at 2 3/4. What did I cut this second one at? 2.5 probably. Yeah, 2.5. Okay, we're gonna set that off to the side. I don't need it. We're gonna take this one, 4.5. Set that piece off to the side, turn it around. 2 3/4. I only need one because I've already got one. Take the other one and set it off to the side. And then we're gonna get our second double one. 4.5. Cut it. Turn it around. 2 3/4. Set it off to the side. Squish this one out to 2 3/4 this time. Okay. We're going to use this one. We're going to use that one. It's too thick, in my opinion. Then we're going to take our top piece, or our top card, our accent card, and cut it to 4.5. And then 2 3/4. And remember, we're only going to do that once for that top accent card because we don't need a second one. Now this is going to be our top card here to cover that. Okay, so this is real simple. We scored at 1/2 inch and 1/2 inch, so we're going to cut off 1 inch, right? So this is a 6-inch card. We're going to cut it at 5 inches. Except we want to give it a little room to breathe. Always give it a little room to breathe. So go one more little dude. That's a 1/16. Cut it at 4 15/16. That's the little tiniest line on your ruler. Okay? Little tiny line. Not the bottom ones, those are centimeters. The little tiny line right there. Okay? We'll set that off to the side. And we can put this away. We don't need it anymore. We're going to take our 5 cards, fold them. Notice how this is a heavier stock than the last one we used. Get this glue off my fingers. Fold them. Burnish them. Fold them. And you can use double-sided paper for any of this if you want. Doesn't matter. You can. You don't have to. If you have it, that's fine. If you don't have it, that's fine too. We're just going through the motions. Fold it all up. Burnish it all down. Fold it all up. Come on now. Burnish it all down. Okay. Fold it all up. Burnish it all down. Okay, now don't forget your little strip. we're going to go ahead and leave it long like this, right? That's what, 4 inches? We're going to cut some of that off. Still a little. I'll cut it to a little over 2 inches. Just because. Why not? Alright? Alright, now fold it roughly in thirds. Doesn't have to be anywhere near perfect. Okay? Then fold the other side. Okay? Then we're going to get this side. And we're going to fold it back on itself to make a little Z. Scoot it out of the way. Fold that side back on itself to make a little Z. See? We've got 2 little Z's. Take your base. Now notice this one's directional, so make sure you got it directioned. Slide your slider in. Now before we get everything else on, we're going to glue that backing card on. So get these out of the way. Take your backing card, hold it up there. That's just about perfect, right? Now, here's where things get fun. Take your glue. Really wish I knew where one of my paintbrushes was or something so that I could do this a little more efficiently. But I have nothing. You know what? Yes, I do. We're going to cheat. There it is. We're going to use tape. Double-sided tape. I hate that glue. I don't know why I didn't think of that before. Okay, get your tape. And remember, you can absolutely use glue on this. Put your tape along the top. Cut it. I don't have the sharpest blade right there. Sorry. Put your tape along the bottom. And cut it. Again, only want to do the top and the bottom. You don't want to do any other part. Not even one other part. Cut your little excess off here. Gotta work on my blade. Okay, now if you're using tape like I am, you can use your knife. Point your blade away from you. It's safer that way. Now, if you've been doing this a while, then I'm not going to tell you how to hold your knife. You're grown. But I am going to tell you that it's safer to hold your knife away from you. It gives you less control, but I guess you won't cut yourself if it goes astray. I've never cut myself, but that doesn't matter. Take it and you line it up against the side there. And you just press the top and the bottom down. Okay? See how it still rises up in the middle? And still goes back and forth. That's important. We need that. Okay. So we're going to take our toppers and I don't know why I turned that over. I'm not going to put a whole lot of tape on these. I'm just going to put enough tape for them to stick down because that's all you really need. I'm going to go ahead and tape all 4 of these before I put them on. And since none of them are directional, I can tape them however I want to. And just put them on directly when it comes time to put them on. Don't tape your big one, the accent one that goes on the top. Don't tape that one yet. We're going to have to do a very small piece of tape on the flaps for that piece. Okay, get all of these ready. Poked myself. Never cut myself, but I poked myself. So be careful with your knife, it's pointy. that taped. So we're going to peel up the papers that cover the tape. Come on, up you go. Stick it down real good. Get your knife in between the paper and the tape. Okay, and then again, your opening goes towards the slit. Just remember, with the tape, you don't have time, because once you stick it, it's stuck. Make sure you get it right the first time with the tape, because once you stick it down, it's stuck. That's why we use the glue, if we can find it. Me, you never know where your glue went. And that's okay. Because you always have an alternative, right? Always have an alternative, right? Okay. Opening goes towards the slit. And you'll notice I'm not measuring or anything. I'm just kind of leaving a little bit of a border around them. These don't have to be perfect, because we're not perfect, and we know we're not perfect. Even those of us that have perfectionism and OCD, it's okay. I promise. No matter what your brain is telling you, you're doing a great job. And I know that's not the only thing that OCD is. Trust me, I know. Again, the opening towards the slit. Okay, and then this one. I know this is kind of a tedious video with y'all watching me pull all this paper up. I'm sorry for that. But maybe it'll give some of y'all time to catch up or make sure whatever. Some people need more time, and that's okay. That is okay, because that is what makes this hobby fun, is that not everybody works the same, everybody works at the same pace, not everybody works on the same things, and that's okay. Now I wish I had me a little scissors. Let me look and see if I have me a little scissors in my box of goodies. Of course not. Wonder if there's some in my toolbox, because scissors would be much better than an X-Acto. There we go. Okay. Because we just want a little tab of tape, about that big. You see that? That's all we want. Tiny little tab of tape. Okay. And we're going to take those tiny little tabs of tape, and we're going to put them on our flaps. Just like that. Okay. And we're going to take our X-Acto blade and rip that paper up. Rip it. Okay, don't rip it. Don't hurt yourself. And don't take the glue up with the tape. Hate it when it does that. Tape takes so much more time, but that's okay. Okay, we're going to put this on. Just like that. Press it down really good. Okay, now we don't have any glue, so we're not waiting for anything to dry. So we just move it down, and it locks those in place. Move it down a little more, and you can get the top ones open. Move it back up to lock those in place. Now remember, your bottom flap is gonna try to get caught. It's okay, it does that. Move it up some more, you can open these. Just remember, when you glue it to your page, when you go to glue it to your page, only want to put glue here. Okay, and you want to stick it down. Now, if you want another pocket back here, you can leave it like this, have a little belly band style, right? You can put some glue here, okay? But very little, because you want this flap to free flow, right? So be very careful with that. All right, I hope you learned something new today. Enjoy and make lots of them.